Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by Demico, Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, and Ram, serving the Finger Lakes since 1963. And Creekside Entertainment, for your DJ, karaoke, and photo booth needs, think Creekside. And DirtTrackDigest.com, if it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day. This is the 31st Lap, episode number 89. And as you can see right there, the wonderful Ridge Post has joined us. This is the 31st Lap, brought to you by Demico, Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, and connected to you fans by Creekside Entertainment. That's online, creeksideEntertainmentDJ.com. I don't have a camera. I got everything up except for my camera. That was the closest I can get.
That's okay. You just did everybody a favor.
Wow.
Right off the
Thanks.
bat.
Didn't take long.
Right off
Swing!
We got a pretty good show lined up for you. Jeff Hachmann's going to be on a little bit later on, and we're also going to be catching up with the Earl Halaquist Memorial winner, Jeff Cook. We were scheduled to do that at 7:30. That clock is way wrong over there on the wall. Yeah, we're already a good half hour late, but we got everything all squared away. Looks like everything is working on YouTube at this point. Breaking in some new technology. This is going to be our second episode streaming live on YouTube, which is kind of cool.
How's that working out?
It worked out great. Thanks to all you fans that made us number one last week again.
Thank you.
That was pretty awesome. You know,
Nice.
well over 300 views on YouTube, so that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
and we
buddy.
had a whole pile of live viewers, which was pretty good for everybody too. It was a good show last week. We had Mike here. Mike is I blanked. I don't remember where Mike is.
He's got parent-teacher conference.
Oh, that's
right.
school
Yeah.
night.
Yep,
He's
school
doing
night.
his actual job now.
Yeah, he's doing
Yeah.
the real thing.
Summertime's over, Mike.
Yep. Mike's broke back in. There's fresh.
He's broke back.
Yeah,
What?
I was going to say Mike's broke back.
He's,
What?
He's all broke back into school now. The season's over.
Don't touch it, John.
Fresh
Just
from
let it
riding a
go.
camel in Kansas, we got Steven Ovens back. Hey,
What's up, Camel
That's
Jockey?
right, man. Oven Mitt has returned.
You know what's funny? That picture of you on that camel, you can hear the camel just screaming bloody murder.
You want to know what the camel's
Get off
name
of
was?
me!
The camel's name was Sooner, and I think his name was Sooner because he said the sooner you get
You
this
get off
fat
me?
ass off the camel, the better.
so it was more fun, the camel or Orlando?
So,
Oh, definitely the camel, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we're riding this camel, and if you picture Super Dirt Week, the big grandstands at the fairgrounds, we're off like in turn one, and halfway through the camel ride, I realized that there's a grandstand full of people watching a concert and watching me ride a camel.
yeah, but
And
that
it
was a joy
That was not fun.
for them.
That was not fun, but it was the best hump day picture
Now,
I've ever posted.
Was the camel an Oklahoman camel?
It was
That
sooner.
I can't tell you.
Oh.
I
Well,
think
his
they
name was
brought him
Sooner.
across the big pond, but I'm not sure.
They brought him across the big pond.
Yeah, we
Wow.
don't have camels here?
So he wasn't
What the
he wasn't a Kansas native.
He was not a Kansas native.
So the
You had
Kansas,
enough time to catch up on it. Did he show you his ID, his like green card and everything?
Man, I mean my
wasn't wearing a turban.
my coworkers had to bribe me just to get on the camel. You know.
Yeah, and how did that work?
Bribe you? Yeah, you look
Well,
like you were being bribed in that
Yeah,
photo.
they had to
It
pay,
was-
they had to pay him another $20 to get off.
Well, yeah.
What
it
they bribe
was,
you with, a cheeseburger?
was oh that is. Jeez.
Terrible, John. What the heck?
You know what,
man?
though?
Even your wife doesn't think that's funny.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
yelling
but
at me.
it's okay. When
That's all right, man.
when we get to Dirt Week, just take all his ice cold Miller Lights out of the cooler. He'll cry.
Well, you know, and the worst
No, I'll
part
just
is
shoot
I
you.
felt bad for the guy that was leading the camel around because we got him in trouble. His boss came over and said, "That guy too big for camel." And it's like, all right.
It's a good
Really?
thing I didn't get that one with you.
Now,
And-
did he talk like that?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
There's no way that part of the story's true. There's no way.
I'm telling you,
Oh, that is
Wichita,
funny.
Kansas. Wichita, Kansas. Only.
So
in
that's what it was
Kansas.
Wichita?
Hey, wait a minute.
Wichita.
Wait. How many teeth did the camel have?
We ain't going there. We ain't going there.
Search that on YouTube. It's got to be up somewhere.
Oh, man. That is so funny.
That's great.
The oven mitt goes camelback.
Anyway, it's
Yeah,
great
oven
to
mitt.
be back on the 31st.
I find that hard to believe.
This is gonna be your last episode. You ain't coming back, are you?
Yeah, I ain't coming back. We're pulling that sponsorship.
You guys,
We're making like Napa, and we're getting the hell out of here.
Maybe 5 Hour Energy.
That's fine. You know, if you're looking for exposure, I hear Michael Waltrip's got no.
Yeah,
At this point, he'd take about anything.
Stu, if you're listening, get on that.
You got a bunch of. I hear you cleared up a bunch of overhead today. You go invest in a stock car.
No, we ain't going there either.
Oh man, yeah, that's right.
Not good.
John's over there like a jackal.
I think he's going to pee himself.
Oh my god.
I already did.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna think we started a half hour late because we're all wrecked now. It's a drinking.
Hey, they watch
Yeah.
us because we're ha-ha funny. So
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Oh man.
Funny
that
how?
is the funny like a clown
Oh,
to
geez.
amuse you.
Amuse you?
I still can't believe the cameras. I'm pretty impressed though. We were able to get all the rest of the parts and pieces moving except for the camera that's in front of me, which I'm fine with
Well,
that. It ends up being out.
So
So is everybody else.
I see you're wearing your Boston Red Sox hat today. You
I
must
got
be
my
all-
staples out.
You must be all proud that they made the postseason now.
Yep.
And you should be happy. You got that one camera angle. You got the green monster here in the house.
Wow, dude, what is your deal?
You know, if you get up and kick his ass, we'll cover the cameras.
Yeah.
You know what?
I
I'm
didn't see
gonna
nothing.
give him a little leeway because I busted his
He
chops
did.
a week ago.
He did.
About how
While
boring
we were
how,
on the show,
about how boring the Outlaw 200 is.
I
busted his chops pretty good about that.
But you were getting on my case, last week or a couple weeks ago about the whole camping thing too.
That's right.
So I'm paying back.
Yeah, but
Hey,
everybody was busting your balls.
That was
on the
all the
camping
way
thing.
from Wichita,
Well, do we have
Kansas.
a scorekeeper? I mean, because it seems like John's.
Am I kicking some ass?
You need to get that young that younger judge there from the Mayweather fight to score it because you guys would basically be almost tied now.
That's right. You did say that the Fulton 200 was a boring race. You did say
It
that,
just
didn't
doesn't
you?
do it for me.
I don't get it.
And maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I mean, I filmed there.
You're in the minority.
I filmed there 3 or 4 times with Matt and Mel Thomas, and I was the guy who drew the short straw and filmed from inside of turn 3, where there's no jersey barriers, no scaffolding to jump off of.
Do you
And-
really think
Sounds
they
like
had
what
a
he did to
long
me.
straw in there?
I mean, I felt like every time I was there, it was the same shot. Cars in a freight train. It just doesn't
happens.
do it for me.
That happens when they keep turning left and going around the oval. They keep coming back to you.
I know.
It's amazing.
I'm
I
gonna take a wild stab, and you probably saw that around 200 times.
I did.
but not all of them.
I mean, and it's not that it's a bad race. It's a great race. It's got great tradition and everything. But when you say to me, what's the most memorable thing you remember about the Outlaw 200 last couple of years, and the only thing I can tell you is Danny or Matt blasting Danny on the backstretch coming out of 2.
That was a couple of years
You
ago.
know,
yeah.
And last year it was Jimmy and Stewie.
Last year it was Jimmy and Stewie.
So I don't know. You know, it's gonna be a good
To
race.
slide or not to slide.
But it just
That's right.
Right.
Stewie slid him, and Jimmy didn't like it.
Yeah.
Destroyed his whole race because of it. Still could have won that race too.
he would have, in my opinion, won that race. But who knows?
So should we get Jeff so we can get Jeff knocked out? Should we get Jeff Cook on
Jeff,
line?
I
Yeah.
thought we were knocking out Balmas.
Well, we're gonna let Steven do that, and don't worry, I'll block one of the cameras, and there will be no witnesses.
And I know nothing.
Okay.
I know nothing.
Speaking of which, we'll get into how Rich was shot at here in a little bit.
Oh.
See, here we go.
What?
It's been one of those weeks at work, Balmas.
Shot at?
Hey, when you work in the hood, that kind of crap happens. And thank God my bosses don't ever listen to this show. They don't even know it exists. But yeah, that was how my Monday started.
Pay no attention.
Like 15.
Did you get hit?
No, I'm
Pay
still
no
sitting
attention.
here, aren't I?
Well, they could have hit you in the
Did I
leg.
get
No,
hit?
nobody-
Have another ice cold Miller Lite,
They
John.
could have shot you in the leg. You could still be sitting
I'm
here.
wearing shorts. You see any holes in this
Pay
thing?
no attention.
Listen, if I'd have turned sideways
Dude,
and they'd take half off, I'd be fine with
Nothing
it.
happened. Don't worry
He's
about
standing there, and all of a sudden, zing!
it. Don't sweat it.
Singer.
They didn't hit you. Don't sweat
It
it.
was interesting, that's for sure.
Let's swing on over to the Creekside Entertainment Hotline and bring in the winner from Saturday at Fonda, none other than Jeff Cook. Jeff, how are you tonight?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing well. So, good run out there at Fonda. I know you guys have been plugging away here toward the end of the season and finally pulled one off out there at Fonda.
Yeah, it was our last points race of the year, and it felt good to do good there and get a win. So that was a good thing.
How what would somebody asked you to kind of recap the season for you guys? What was the journey like this year?
Way more downs than there was ups. Yeah, it was a struggle. It's been a struggle for the last couple of years. Down on help, and just pretty much most of the time it's me and my wife and my mother-in-law and in the truck, and just keep plugging away.
And then go back to your race on Saturday. How did that go for you? I know Steve Poirier was the early leader of that race and had some troubles with lap traffic, and you were able to get by.
Yeah, he was leading it, and I don't know, I think it was lap 12 or 14, and I could see that I was catching him, and he was probably 2 car lengths ahead of me, and he was getting in trouble with lap traffic, and then he tried to go to the outside of lap traffic, and I couldn't believe it. He spun out, and unfortunately he tapped the wall, and we were able to take the lead, and the caution come out.
Now, most drivers that we would talk to say that they'd want to be in second place in that kind of situation when the leader's hitting traffic. Is that pretty much consistent with what you'd want to be in that position?
Yeah, we had a restart. I was starting third, and we had a restart, and Sean Donitz was on the outside, and I knew that it was the inside had rubber down, so I knew that we had some traction in there, and when I got into second, I knew I was pretty good position. I was just waiting for Steve to mess up, which he very seldomly does, and unfortunate for him, he got a little impatient and tried to go around the lap car on the outside, and circumstances have it that I was able to win the lead.
Now, with him getting into lap traffic, I mean, how was your ride under you on Saturday? How did you feel, before he got into the mess?
Mine was very good. I felt very comfortable in the car. Knew that if I could get to him, which, I was quite sure when we got into lap traffic I could get to him. It was just getting under him was going to be the key, and I stayed to the bottom, and he went to go to the outside of the lap car, and as he went to go to the outside, the lap car moved up for him, and I went under the lap car, and he spun out on the outside of the lap car. So, again, unfortunate. I'd have liked to race him to the end, but this late in the year, I guess you got to take a win when you can get one.
Absolutely. We know the next race coming up for ESS is down at Selinsgrove for that Mach 1 Invitational or National Open, I think it's actually called. You guys have any plans to run that?
I'm not, unfortunately. I got a lot of stuff going on at work, and to be honest with you, I haven't made it into the garage yet this week to work on the car, and just haven't been able to. We went down there in May, I think it was. We had a good run. We started on the outside pole. We finished 5th down there, and them guys really have their stuff together down there. But wanted to go back. Was on the fence whether I was going back or not Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today I pretty much made up my mind that I had no time to get to the garage tonight. But just didn't look like I was going to be able to make it.
You talk about being able to go down there last May. What's it like to go down there and run a track like that? Selinsgrove.
It's unbelievable. I've never been there before, and it's pretty much get in the car and strap yourself in and put your foot to the floor and go 25 laps. Yeah, it's extremely fast down there, and nice facility, very nice facility. Certainly would have liked to go back down again, but unfortunate circumstances I couldn't. So.
Well, I know you talked about in Victory Lane there at Fonda, talking about your all-female crew. I thought we'd give you an opportunity to give them a little bit of the highlight from your win Saturday.
Yeah, certainly my wife. She she does all the, she helps me on the car. She's a driving force. Get home at 8:00 at night, and I pretty much would rather sit on the couch or watch TV for a minute after I get done eating, and she's, come on, let's go, because she knows what happens if I don't get going. And yeah, and my mother-in-law, she's certainly a very nice lady and a great lady, and we certainly wouldn't be able to do it without her. So yeah, and then of course we got the little Miss Cobra. She stays at our house, goes to college, and so she's been helping us in the garage on Thursday and Friday nights. And so last Thursday night, I had me and my brother are partners in the family farm, and I had to go work on the farm till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and told the girls that we were going to go racing at Fonda, that they got to work on the car. And so the girls changed the gears and took the bars out, greased them, did the torque ball, and the only thing I had to do was the engine when I got back. So that was kind of nice. I really enjoyed them guys, working with them in the garage and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine a whole lot of competitors can probably have said the same thing before they went to Fonda on Saturday. What's it like? Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
What's it like to be able to have friendship with and mentor a young driver like Kelly, just getting her career off the ground?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I don't know if I'm a mentor to her. I show her a couple things, and she says that, Dad hasn't showed me that yet. And then there's a couple things that I ask her how she does it. Oh, Dad showed me how to do it this way. So it's kind of cool. It's certainly fun watching her race, and there might be a slim chance that she's going to drive one of my cars next week. I'm not sure yet. I'm sure on my end that she can drive it. I guess it's just up to her mom and dad to decide whether she wants to, or if they want her to drive it or not. So,
and where will that be?
Brewerton with the Patriots.
Okay, gotcha. So that'll be a Friday night show.
So
Very good.
We'll see if that happens. Hopefully it will, and she can do all right.
Well, that's good news to hear. Some races coming up. What have you had a chance at all to start looking ahead to 2014?
Yeah, we've done a little bit looking ahead, just trying to figure things out. Probably gonna purchase a new car and see where that goes, and restore a couple of the other ones, and just rebuild a couple things, fuel pumps, steering boxes, stuff like that, just to get ready for next year. I thought for the longest time during the summer that this was going to be my last year. I had enough, but just about when you're ready to get out, the racing gods throw you a bone and suck you right back in. So unfortunate, but we're going to try her again.
I know a buddy of mine like that from Penn Yan that did the same thing after last year with Lance and everything. So we definitely have heard that before. But, if you're still having fun with it, why not give it another shot,
Yeah, exactly. And when I first got into racing, it was all about fun and leave my phone in on the table and go out in the garage and work on the cars and go to the races on the weekend. And that subdued for a while, but now it's to the point where you got to spend 30, 40 hours a week on that car, and the top teams either have a paid guy that does it, that they one or two guys in the shop all week working on the car, or, people like Lance, they got to work on the car 2 nights a week to be competitive. If you don't look at that thing 2 nights a week and you're running in the back, and that could be some of the problems that I have this year. I mean, I didn't have any mechanical failures or anything like that, but, I got 3 different businesses and keeping track of them all and working till dark every night kind of catches up to you sometimes. So something's got to be on the back burner, and unfortunately it's the racing sometimes. So, but we got through her. We got a couple more races to go to, and hopefully have some fun at it.
Hey, you talked about the Patriot Brewerton show. What else do you have left on the calendar for this year?
The Patriots are up at Brockville at the end of the year. Two of my sponsors out of Canada live right close to Brockville, so every year we go up there and try to give them a little plug to help them along, and so we usually plan on going to Brockville at the end of the year.
And how do we assess our chances up at Brockville? What's been the past?
Well, we've been running good there. I don't know. Last year I was in the top 5. We ran there twice this year as the Patriots. Just qualifying right in the beginning of the day, I screwed up both times, and we started in the back of the feature and come towards the front. But and actually, the last time I was there, a Uke-tard decided to jump out in front of me.
I hate it when that happens.
That sucks when that happens.
I don't know. I think them photographers in the infield decided to push that out.
Kick him right out there. Must have been Randy Mallett did that.
Yeah, that Mallett guy, he can pick them up, roll them right out. He's the one that, guy who's going to win the race.
Wow.
That's funny.
But, so, yep, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, that's good. As we always do with drivers that come in on us or on the show here on the 31st lap, I want to give you an opportunity to thank the sponsors and the people that are helping you get there to the racetrack every week.
Yeah, I got to thank big people who have helped me my whole racing career. Route 37 Building Supply. Without Dave and Deb Barrup, certainly wouldn't be able to do what I do. And then I got Myers Trucking, Dickie Myers. He put the Ford motor in the car for me, and that's been a plus. And I got a couple new ones, Felder's Roofing and Construction, and the new one this year is probably L&J Landscaping. Joe Cook, no relation, just a good friend, and he come on board this year, and he's been to some races to help me all during that Speedway tour. They helped me, so I really, really appreciate that. And thank all, and the rest of them are my friends, good friends, and obviously if we didn't have friends, we wouldn't be able to do it anyways. So, but yeah, and I have to thank all of them, actually, every one of my sponsors, because not too many times I get to the winner's circle to give them plugs. So take every opportunity we can, I guess.
Well, those kind of people who, these days with racing, you just can't do it. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's most certainly.
Yep.
So.
All right, Jeff. Well, we thank you very much for coming out on the show tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there at Brewerton. And I don't know if I'll be making the trip up to Brockville, but we certainly send our best luck to you up in Brockville.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man.
Jeff.
Congrats
All right.
on the win.
All right, it's Jeff Cook.
Nice.
Nice guy.
Got to be nice to wind down toward the end of the season.
How do either
Well,
of
if
you
you-
two know? You guys, I mean, when you did your first interview with Alan Johnson, I was here to support you and
Thank
interject questions and things like that.
Thank
He's over
God.
here. This is the first one you did on your own.
Whoa,
Right?
hang on.
I'm not done. No,
I don't listen.
The gloves have come off.
He's
Don't
over
you
here.
hate it when he does that crap?
He's over here doing everything that he can to get through this thing, and you two jerks are playing Candy Crush on your phones.
Candy Crush? My phone's is sitting over here.
I was playing baseball.
What the hell is a candy?
I'm sitting over here trying to be conscious to not take over the whole thing.
What
and
the hell
No,
is
I
a
was letting
run
you go.
away.
You did a good job.
Bummus
Run
pulls
away.
his microphone over, and I thought, oh, good, he's got a question. I put my finger at him, and he goes,
I didn't have anything. You were doing fine, so I just let you go.
That's right.
I was over here trying to get the Yankees. in the
Everybody else
playoffs.
was just.
What
Everybody
the hell
else
is a Candy Crush?
Don't worry about it, John. And listen, he's a DJ for crying out loud. He's used to a microphone.
Yeah.
You jackasses bring me in here, throw a microphone in my face, and say, go.
I know.
Hey, interview Alan Johnson if you could.
That's right.
Ready, go. Duh.
I don't feel
That's about how
bad
it
for you at
went.
all, because you know what my first interview was?
JJ Yaley, wasn't it?
Yaley,
oh,
yes.
jeez.
Yes. That was the first one. And I'm like,
And that's about how that did go.
So how's
It
that
was-
NASCAR thing
It was
going?
it was ugly. Like nothing like letting me get my feet wet a few times first.
Right,
No.
and I think that week he didn't even qualify the car. I think
that's
what happened.
That's actually why he was on the show. He didn't have anything else going on.
Oh man!
Listen.
I'm not.
Don't
tell
be
me
picking
that I'm
on
wrong.
him. He's
though.
been good to
I'm not
this
picking
show.
on.
Listen.
Yeah, he was on there one time. That was cool.
He's been on twice.
Has he?
Yes.
JJ's a 2
Oh,
time.
Twice.
Oh.
Don't be picking on him.
Twice as many times as Jeff Cook.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah, hey, you
was fun.
You did a great job.
it was
did
fun.
Yeah, he
Great-
was doing fine.
great
That's why I
job.
didn't bother.
Yeah, usually if nobody else is jumping in there, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I did.
that's
I couldn't
good.
think of anything to ask. Actually, the one question I would have asked, you asked it, and that was what the rest of the season held.
And trust me, my Alan Johnson interview, Chris Marquardt talked more than I did.
That might have happened. I always get nervous with Alan because he so doesn't seem to want to do anything to do with media whatsoever.
You know,
whatsoever.
He's a tough interview.
he is a tough nut to crack. But if you can get into the armor, he's a funny.
Oh yeah,
son of
he's a
bitch.
funny dude. I'll give you that. There's
Yeah,
been times where
outside of this type of stuff.
if
Yeah.
it's just one-on-one,
It's
just
not-
hanging out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that side of him, but I'm already nervous, and I'm a little bit nervous because I know that Rich isn't entirely comfortable. So I'm kind of mapping out what the plan B is going
Not
to be.
entirely
like
comfortable. I
like
don't
what
do
the.
it.
I'm trying to kind of figure out what the parachute's going to be so that we can transition this thing and make sure we don't lose it. Not only do we call him, but we call him in the middle of dinner. And he has to go outside in the middle of the snow.
Oh.
He's having reception problems. He's in the middle of dinner. It's like, wow.
Well, that
Yeah.
day
But
with JJ, like I got a bunch
we got
of
it done.
questions.
Yeah, we did get it done. We got through
Well,
it.
we got
was-
it done
was-
well.
Yeah, we did fine.
Like
We did
that day
fine.
with JJ,
You know who
I
else
got
gets
like
it done?
everything mapped out in my head what I want to ask, and
That
then you
would've
turn
been
on
a
the
good segue.
microphone and it all goes right out.
Yeah.
As soon as the microphone comes on, I'm like I forget everything I wanted to say.
Yeah, but thankfully,
Wow.
you did it. You did a really good job.
I'm doing better than the second time I was here. That was the first time I was here with Mike at the same time. I sat here didn't say.
You didn't say
thing.
two
You
words.
have to. Mike's
He
here.
never talks when Mike comes.
Nobody
Mike,
does.
Mike,
nobody-
Mike scares him for some reason.
You're not special.
Yeah.
Nobody says anything when Mike's here.
That's good.
You're not.
Speaking of Mike, I was busting his chops while I was sitting at Fonda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have gotten to him during the.
All you had to
race.
do was go up those stairs,
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
and walk right in.
That's one of Rich's mortal enemies. Stairs.
You know what would have happened if I got to the top of those things? It's like Steven on a camel.
Well, we ate fat
no
people
good.
today.
That's okay. I know you're gonna get hammered at Dirt Week. Payback's a bitch, man.
Oh, I'll get hammered, but it won't be till Friday.
Sunday will sneak up on you too.
Yep.
You know where else you can go for a good time? D'Amico Chrysler
D'Amico
Dodge
Dodge.
Jeep
Thanks for saving that one.
got to drive a 2014 Chrysler Town and Country.
Ooh,
That
minivan.
thing was awesome. It was so cool.
best minivan maker out there.
Yeah, it's pretty
About
much
the
the
only
only
ones
one
left.
But yeah, those are awesome, and you got to check out the new Chrysler 200Ss. Those are starting to show up. They've got the 283 horsepower Pentastar V6 in them. Awesome stuff. You can check them out over there at D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep. They're a staple in the Finger Lakes since 1963. They're right there at their headquarters on Routes 5 and 20 on the west side of Geneva. The lineup includes the 2014 Chrysler Town and Country minivan and also the 2014 Chrysler 200S. Make sure you get over there. They are in desperate need of trade-ins. They've had a record summer, so they need to see some quality pre-owned vehicles to put on their lot and restock what they've already sold off. They're going to hold nothing back and give you the most that they can to help you into a new car, truck, van, or SUV. Visit my favorite sales rep, Mike Godkin, and the rest of the D'Amico family online at D'AmicoChryslerDodgeJeep.com or visit them in person at the dealership. Open daily, Monday to Saturday at 8:30. For more information, call D'Amico's at 877-407-7207.
Weekly dose of Mopar.
We're going to have one more of those after we talk to Jeff Hachmann. But first, the new and revamped live drop for Creekside Entertainment. Take it away, Steve.
Ooh.
Ready to go.
John Baumus has rhythm and loves booze.
Let's
And you will too with Creekside Entertainment every Tuesday night at F&A's Rhythm and Booze from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Rhythm's
with
good.
the most up-to-date karaoke in the Finger Lakes. If you can hear it on the radio, you can sing it with Creekside Entertainment. The fastest-growing DJ company in the area, playing weekly at the Palmyra American Legion on Fridays from 7 to 11. The Poorhouse in Dundee, right down the road from Black Rock Speedway, Fridays from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., and the Penny and VFW Saturday nights 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. with their country karaoke. Don't forget about the official photo booth of the two-time defending NLL champion Rochester Nighthawks. Creekside Photo Booth is what you need to make your party, wedding, or event a great event. Contact Creekside Entertainment online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com or call Stu at 315-481-9700. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter.
Tweeter.
Under
Twitter.
what?
Under
Rhythm and
at
blues.
Creekside ENT DJ.
Hey, are we going to get Jeff Hachmann in here?
Jeff Hachmann's right here.
Is he sure he really wants to join this
He
circus
didn't realize
tonight?
it was 8 o'clock.
I should have just picked him up on my way through and brought him in.
He's
Man,
got
I'm
too much going on.
pumped. Let's talk Dirt Week, man.
Absolutely.
13 days till move-in day.
You ready? You ready, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do we? Can he hear us this time? Any
I
technical?
can.
All right. No technical difficulties today.
Yeah, not with the phone.
13 days till moving.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Can we
we're
speed
moving
it up?
in this weekend, so I don't know who's waiting 13 days.
Well, Bomas will be down with the camper. He expects to be in by morning.
Doesn't get to move in until the 13th of October.
You got to wait.
You got any campers in line at the wheels yet?
I know we had one, but I haven't heard a report on any more. We're setting up the camper staging signage, setting up the camper staging signage this weekend. And for those of you that are listening that are going to Rolling Wheels, just pay attention to the signage this year. We won't be allowing anybody to camp up on the hill. They'll have to follow in line and make sure they're not parking on any of the roadways so we can accommodate all the fans on October 8th.
Nice.
What are you doing over there? What are you doing?
Who?
You.
What do you mean?
Listen, you're
I'm
asking
sitting
John
here.
Bomas
What
what
the
he's
hell are you
doing, for
talking
God's
about?
sake, Chris.
I
Let's
know.
get back to Dirt Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
How about Bomas? Did anybody get
Yeah.
any photos of him after he takes the helmet off?
no, is he uglier than when he leaves it on?
Man, and the other thing is we're going to have to mix in a couple treadmill sessions.
Listen.
Run.
So apparently you're not the only one that's getting your
This is
balls
fat-
busted for being fat.
This is fat guy joke week here. Apparently.
I like it, Jeff. Keep doling it out.
Talking about rhythm and booze. Ooh.
Oh, he looked like he had a good time. I don't know, maybe a little heavy on the steering wheel. Got him a little worked up.
How much fun was that over there at pole position?
It was fun on so many different levels. Not only the fun that we had watching everybody, but the fun to see that everybody had. And then, beyond that, it's fun to me when something's successful. And, this is not a quote from me. This is a quote from somebody that I was talking to about it that's been around motorsports for a really, really long time and said it was probably the most successful media day he's seen in dirt car racing ever.
Wow.
That's perfect.
That's quite the compliment.
I know I had a blast.
Here, I have an idea, Jeff.
Yep.
Let's do it again during Super Dirt Week at the go-kart track or the quarter midget track they got there.
Well, you know what? It brings up a good point, but think about what you said there and think about the goal of what we did.
Well, I know you were trying to get the word out. I'm just saying let's do it again because I'll be there this time.
It was, I don't know, I know some of you because I've seen it on Facebook, but and I've seen it on Twitter, but the Facebook and the Twitter and the timing, the post-standard story today and the timing of where it fell in some of our advertising and promotion initiatives, whether it be the e-blast from CNY Central and the newscasts and the start of advertising, the timing is just, really, I know I've been watching it to pay attention to see how successful beyond the actual operation of the event, but we've dominated the airwaves for this event the past probably 48 hours.
Nice.
So, I'm talking radio stations, the banter, about racing and ate too much dinosaur mac and cheese when it was over. And, these are guys that it's the first time they were even involved.
John claimed that he was...
Bomus, you can tell them. How many people were there that never been to a race?
Oh, at least half, if not more. I'm sure there was. I know there was a lot of people from radio and TV that I didn't even know who they were. And
I
pretty
can
sure they've
tell you
never been.
Newman from 95X, who has never been to a race, and he actually qualified in his heat, made it to the feature, and finished in the top 6 to race the pros, and was ecstatic. I mean, that's what makes that something like that work.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. I hope you guys do it again next year.
Well, I can't see why we wouldn't. We're always going to make twists, and we may have to check some credentials at the door to make it a little bit more of a media event. But
well, how did the drivers respond to it being out there in the cart?
Well, like I said last week, I mean, the fact that Brett Hearn drove up the night before, shows the excitement behind it, and the interviews on air. And I thought Matt, and he gets interviewed a lot, said something really cool. They said, well, what's this whole media day mean to you? And he's like, well, this gets some of the excitement out for the biggest event of the year. And he goes, without fans, we got no event. So,
Yep.
So he understood why he was there. And, just like typical racers, whether it be, the Bahamas or the media, same with the drivers. I mean, I had Gary and Matt and Brett like, we need some hot laps, we need practice sessions. And, they raced 2 races. And, because of the strong response, the event actually raced on-track race time, because these are electric carts. So they had to charge in between races. It took about an hour and 40 minutes. So you got to think Matt, Brett, and Gary sat there and they raced and didn't race for another hour and 20 minutes.
Right, because they were the first ones to go out, and then the last race. They only got to go out twice.
Well, maybe that's why you kept
and then sat and had lunch. And really, when it came to the TV interviews, those happened before the racing even started, because you can't really control when TV wants to have an interview.
Right.
Yeah.
And, so really, I mean, I didn't see any boredom or any, like, what am I doing here? There was excitement overall, laughing. And, I mean, Shane Andrews was the announcer, and we had the flagman in a dirt car official shirt, and the VP racing flag. I mean, it was like being at a Super Dirt Car Series race.
Yeah.
Why was it? John was upset about this, and he said he wasn't going to ask, but I will. He wanted to know. He wanted to know why the stars, the dirt car stars, started in positions 1, 2, and 3 in the race with the stars.
Just to be clear, I wasn't upset.
No, he was upset.
I just brought it up, that the fact that they started in front of us.
Actually,
they were the
Jeff,
pros.
I can handle this for you. That's a question that you should direct to Joe.
That's a joke question.
I made it clear to Matt, Gary, and Brett before the event. I said, I am the race director today.
Yeah, Bahamas didn't like the
We'll
handicap
answer that question.
Next year they go to the rear.
Who had more laps
Yeah, John.
on the car?
I should. I'm the amateur.
And the second thing is, what was... Okay, Bahamas, if you started third and Matt started last,
Yeah.
are you going to feel better going after Matt or knowing that you got past 2 laps in?
Oh, wow.
First of all, he wouldn't have passed me in 2 laps.
He might have. Matt's cart's a lot lighter than yours.
To be honest with you, I mean, Tim Hogue got up there, and you know what? Matt checked out, but there was a pretty bad wreck halfway through.
Yeah, I was in the middle of it.
They have control in the tower to be able to shut these cars down when there is a wreck, so there isn't, for safety reasons. And when that happened, everybody kind of got strung out.
Yep.
It wasn't like it was a clear restart, so that probably would have made it more exciting.
Yeah, I never even saw those guys, the 3 drivers, after the yellow went back green. I never even saw them. I don't even know where they were.
No, I mean, there's always things you can tweak with it, but you know what? I mean, maybe next year they'll start in the back. It was really, when it comes down to it, it's all about having fun, and I think everybody did, whether they started in the front, started in the back, and
It was a blast. I had a blast.
Just so you know, Jeff, John has a lot more fun when he's winning.
Well, who doesn't?
And when he doesn't, he throws a temper tantrum.
And when he doesn't, he throws a temper tantrum on the 31st lap.
We'll just call him Rowdy.
It was a lot of fun, and you know what? it's a typical race. I mean, we're talking about it right now. If it was a dirt car race, we'd be talking about what and if and we should. I mean, everybody's got a separate opinion, and you know what? That was the choice we made at that time, and you know what? Maybe next year it'll be different.
John, I think he's trying to say suck it up.
Yeah, John, suck it up.
Jeff, you're talking about reaction. Have you got any reaction yet from fans and maybe even other competitors or anything, leading up to Super Dirt Week here?
In regards to the event?
Yeah.
Like I said, if you followed the social media, it was all over. The media was all over it. The fans were all over it. We had probably 50. What would you say, Bombas? 50 or 75 people that were just hanging out watching.
Yeah, there was quite a few people. There.
We had 2 sales reps and 3 other jocks that weren't even in the race from one of the radio stations that came to cheer on their station. So I mean, that response was awesome. I can tell you, I mean, Brett Hearn, he saw the press release and he saw that we made mention that Matt had won the main event, and he sent me a text and he goes, I want some credit for running the fastest lap of the pros.
That's right, he did.
And I go, we made mention, and he said where, and I just put LOL. I'm still looking. I mean,
he did. I saw the sheet.
So he think about that. Think about that. He's preparing for Syracuse, and I know it only took a second. I know he was just having a little fun, but he wanted recognition for the fastest time, and he said it to me once at the event and once after when he got home and texted me. He
did have a good time.
So I mean, the response has been great. I mean, it's not just motorsports response. I mean, I know that there were some motorsports media outlets there that made connections with the owners of Pole Position. I know the people from Pole Position were to help them out and help them get into the motorsports world. So that's awesome. I know Pole Position was ecstatic. It was the most successful media day that they've ever had, because they've done some media stuff with the morning shows and everything. And to be honest with you, Shane Carson out in Oklahoma City saw our press release, and he's friends with the CEO and forwarded it along to the CEO of Pole Position in Las Vegas, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Nice.
So
that's great.
I mean,
yeah, that's great.
I know I sound excited, but I am. So I'm not going to hide it.
You should be. I mean,
it was a great time. I know Brett enjoyed it, because when we were sitting there eating afterwards, he sat right by me, and I asked him if he had fun. He said, "Oh, I loved it." He goes, "I'm ready to go out there again." But of course, after he was done eating, he had a long drive back to New Jersey, so he left after he was done eating. But he wanted to go out and have some
more laps. He had any
laps.
road rage, because we didn't mention that he had the fastest time.
I had 4th fastest time, just for the record.
Yeah, but is that first? No.
Was that in the media section or overall?
Overall.
Oh, okay.
Overall in the feature.
Okay.
The key was in the timing. What I didn't understand is people were trying to race, which was really cool. But if you really wanted to be one of the fastest times, you need to check up as soon as they let you go.
Yeah.
And give yourself some open air.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, getting a clean
and
lap.
Run a lap with nobody around you.
Yep, that was the hardest part of the day, trying to get a clean lap.
It's hard to find clean air.
Yeah, if you get too close, you get aero tight, and it don't work out.
Listen, the tight in that cart had nothing to do with aero.
Our first time.
I'll tell you what, one of the rights, the second right, coming off a straightaway. I wouldn't be surprised someday if they find one of those cars in TJA Fridays across the road, because that was a fast corner, and I even saw Matt bounce it off the wall 3 laps in a row.
Wow!
I know when I went out for the first time in the group that I went out with to get a clean lap, I even let the guy, when we first hit the track, I let the guy in front of me go way out, and literally in less than a lap, I already caught him, because he caught the person in front of him, and it just bottlenecked everybody down. And it wasn't until the last 3 laps of our 14-lap practice session that I finally got 3 clean, good laps. Because it's very hard. It seems silly, but it's very hard to get a clean lap, because somebody always slows down somewhere. Or if something happens to somebody, they hit the switch. So you're like in the middle of a good lap, and then they hit the switch that slows them down because somebody spun out or whatever. So it's hard to get a good clean lap that has no interference.
And now John Bomas wants to run at Super Dirt Week against Brett and Matt.
I mean, it's all good stuff and it's all fun talk and everything, but it's surely a great way to kick off Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week. And you know, I mean, I know it re-energized me and you know, recharge the batteries to give me that push to keep rolling, because sometimes you kind of whether you're a fan or everything, you're sitting waiting for that day to come, or you're thinking, man, oh man, you know, I got to do it. So I mean, it was a great kickoff, you know, 14 days before the opening race.
Yep, I agree.
So what were you working on tonight before we interrupted you?
Figuring out who we got to pay and when we're paying them.
You can add my name.
There's obviously a big budget involved, and I was ironing out the details on who we had to pay and when we had to pay them, and make sure that I had my ducks in a row, and working on some fire safety stuff with Solvay Fire Department, and what else was I doing? You name it, it was happening.
Just for the record, Jeff, it's RICH, and you can send it to my home.
You know, you get down to about 2 weeks left now, or well, 13 days until John and his camper move in. What is the big ticket items in the next week or so that you guys are looking at before everybody starts moving in?
Well, big ticket items. I mean, at this point, if everything's not in place to make the event promotionally successful in the fans, then you've missed the boat. So that's kind of in place, and you kind of see that through. Right now, everything becomes operational, whether it be staff, whether it be credentials, whether it be tickets, whether it be Porta-Johns, the New York State Health Department, fire safety, you know, your anthem singers, your invocations, your pre-race ceremonies, your trophies, your plaques, your winners' checks, your signage, your staging. You know, it's all operational at this point. It's all you know, light towers, equipment, track equipment. I mean, you know, the toughest thing about this event is it's not like you're sitting in an office with the track right next to you and you have a crew here. I mean, you know, now you're talking about 3 different facilities, one of them being 30 miles away, and trying to spread out the equipment and the staff and make sure everybody knows where they're going, why they're going there, how they're getting in. You know, so it's you know, this is the tough time. These are the behind the scenes things that make everybody have a good time, but nobody knows what really went into it to make them have a good time. Yeah. I mean, when you pull in and your pass is already in your hand and you drive through that gate, you know, there's a process to get to that point. There's a process, whether it be talking to Mallet, figuring out what he needs, or you know, as part of his sponsorship, and you know, he's got people that want to wave green flags, and what passes do they need, and then he's got to get the passes to them, and you know, to have that experience, so when they drive in, it's flawless.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot to do.
Well, and there's always a hiccup, but I can, you know, as somebody who's come in to pick up credentials in the past, it's always been smooth, even when there is a hiccup. It's always been.
Well, the key to the hiccup is if the hiccup is not seen, other than by the people that have to fix it, then it was never a hiccup. It was a hiccup that we have to work on so it doesn't happen next year. But you never want the hiccup to affect everybody else that's at the event.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the point. I mean, you know, the staffing that you have come into Super Dirt Week from all the different tracks, you know, under your banner, you know, those people don't work with each other all year long until they get there the week of the event. And
I mean, if you think about it,
prepared.
I'm sitting here at the office. I mean, you're talking, you know, all the staff, and if you get them staff shirts, you got to have everybody's size. Think about it, and then you got to get everybody the shirt.
That's right.
I know that sounds like a simple thing.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No.
But
add that. It's not.
Add that to the where are the 30 Porta-Johns going, and who's going to be there to make sure they're set in the right spot. And how about those containers for the TV compound? And how about those campers for the staff. That all has to have a plan around it, and the plan starts with contacting that vendor, and then who are they going to meet, and what time are they going to come, and where are they going to go, and that's so there's many pieces of the puzzle, and I'm surely not the only one that's a part of this, but one way or another, all that runs across my desk, and we make it happen.
That's right. Never forget my T-shirt size, fat guy.
Yep, and don't also forget he wants the porta potty right next to his camper.
Fat guy size for me.
So looking ahead, so have you given any thoughts to Super Dirt Week 2014 then, or is this?
I just passed out.
He just did that thing from the AT&T commercial.
Boom.
Honest with you, we always start thinking of the next year. I mean, if anything, right now it's jotting down notes of things that may have slowed you down or that you can do better.
Yeah.
So, I have a recap report from 2012 that I keep on top of my desk that's about 14 pages long.
Wow.
And that's recap notes of everybody that was every one of our management staff that put notes, whether it be promotionally, operationally, competition, and all those notes are there, and they're recap notes to make you better the next year. Everything from, we're moving the ticket container up 50 feet this year, closer to the road, and the golf cart compound is going to go behind it. And, promotionally, what was our next plan with media day? And, I had down the pole position raceway last year. And, and I kind of kept it quiet all year long because I thought the more I kept it quiet and I just brought it on, the bigger it would be. And, but it's all those notes. So you're always thinking about 2014. I mean, we already have we start selling tickets right at the event. So I've already put together a proposed reserved camping map that we went over. I say it was proposed at one point. Now it's done, but we're adding I believe another 55 reserved camping spots for next year.
John's clapping his hands over here.
Backstretch, outside the backstretch. So I mean, last year we added camping spots in the West End camping. So. We're always thinking ahead.
Well,
Well,
God love you for it. I can't even believe that's crazy. I mean, I'm glad you woke up from passing out to tell us about that. The fact that you're already planning for 2014 is just mind blowing.
Yeah, it's it's a big event. It's a big event, and there's a lot of people that save their money all year long to make that their exciting time of the year and their vacation. And it's up to us as a team at Dirt Car Northeast and World Racing Group to give them what they expect.
It's really exciting and almost a relief as a race fan, who loves going to Dirt Week, because how many years have we gone to Dirt Week in the past? I'm talking 10 years previous, where everybody's enjoying having a good time. It's like, everybody have a good time because we're not sure about next year just yet. You know what I'm saying? And
that's the running tally every year.
Right.
Oh, this is the last year. They're done.
Oh, they've been saying that for 10 years.
Right. So it's nice to know that that's not the case.
Right, exactly. And I think this thing with pole position was a big, that was a huge event. Like, for you guys to go out and do that and put this kind of promotion into the event, that tells me as a race fan that, this isn't going anywhere.
No, you guys have
not for right now.
There's an investment in that to spend the money that the organization's spending for the promotional and all the time that you guys are putting into promoting something like that Media Day event, which I got to tell you, my Twitter feed and my face, everything exploded when you guys got to completing that. And of course, I had to see
because I was doing that good, right?
Right, I had to see a picture of Bomas on a podium, which made me want to puke. But that event with everything you guys put into it tells the race fan that you guys are invested and you're moving forward, and it's not what the naysayers and some of the haters are spitting out of their mouth. That we're done. This is the last year. So to see it be that successful and to see the outcome after the fact. It's that was pretty huge.
I mean, that was about promoting Super Dirt Week, but that was about promoting our sport.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I mean, next year when we want to do something, or next year in May when we're kicking something off, and I call Wolf 105.1 because I want to put something together, it's not going to be, well, explain to me what this is again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be, how can I be attached to it?
Well, the news that
And,
day.
you know, that's what's cool. I mean, it's just an overall exciting. I'll tell you guys a quick story, and I know you got a lot on your show, but I thought this was really cool today. Phone rang this morning, I don't know, about 11 o'clock, and Jack Spino was sitting in front of me, and we're talking about the Hall of Fame and talking about his involvement in Victory Lane at Super Dirt Week, and the guy says, is this Jeff? And I said, this is Jeff. And he goes, this is Gary Ballou.
Nice.
And I said, he goes, do you know who I am? And I said, yeah, I know who you are.
Duh.
And I go, but I'm pretty sure the guy in front of me knows you even better than I do. And he goes, who's that? And he goes, Jack Spino. And then he goes, oh, I know Jack. He goes, so you remember me? And I said, yeah. He goes, does anybody remember me or the car anymore up there? And I said, yeah, they do, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody does. I go, you changed the landscape of the sport. And he goes, well, I don't want to waste too much of your time. I know it's a busy time, but I just wanted to call and get caught up with Super Dirt Week being right around the corner. Who's leading the points? How's Billy Decker doing? What's going on at Rolling Wheels? He just wanted an update.
Nice.
Because he knew Super Dirt Week was right around the corner, and I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Because that's
Well, you think about it, any of us race fans or, dirt modified guys, you say Batmobile and it has nothing to do with Batman.
Oh yeah, you say Batmobile,
no-
Batmobile in this region, and
Yeah.
everybody knows exactly what you're talking
I
about.
could care less about that thing with the funny looking red bat on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Right.
but that 112,
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
not on all of them. Don't worry about it.
it wasn't the body of the car. It was because I had a number 12 on it. That's why it was that fast.
Oh, okay.
There was a 1 in front of it. John. No, that's for a guy like that to just be making a random, call the dirt car headquarters and.
That's cool.
Hey,
That's
Jeff,
great.
I'm curious.
He says, who's leading the points? I go, Brett Hearn at this point, and he goes, is he going to win it? And I go, well, he's got as good a shot as anybody. It's tough to bet against a guy who won 7 times. He goes, I hope he wins it. So, I mean, it's just, that's just a cool phone call, another one of those things that's, kind of keeps the batteries energized.
Yep.
Well, and
absolutely.
he's been back around the scene in the last few years, up at least during Dirt Week.
Yeah, he came to Super Dirt Week a couple years ago, didn't
right. That'd be something maybe we should hook onto for a Friday night version.
No, I don't know if he's coming. He didn't say he was coming. I was actually expecting him to ask for tickets. He just wanted the update, but you know what? You can never go wrong attaching yourself to the Batmobile.
No.
No, not at all.
Nice. That's pretty
So,
cool. That is pretty cool.
yep. So we're excited. We're going to keep plugging, and we're going to make sure we're ready when everybody rolls in October 9th.
Well, we look forward to it. We appreciate
Absolutely.
your time. I'm sure you got more that you got to do.
A little bit more, and maybe we'll get dinner before 11:30 tonight.
There you
Hey.
go.
Are you buying?
John, you're dropping it
You-
off on the way home.
You buying tonight, Jeff?
Sure.
All right, we'll be there.
Sounds good.
All right, Jeff, thanks a lot. We'll catch you.
Great night. Thanks for everything, and we'll talk next week.
We'll see you then.
You guys.
sir.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jeff.
man.
All right,
See you
great.
later.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I still think it's awesome that Jeff comes on every week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With all the holy dear God, what has he got going on preparing for this event?
Yeah.
He sits in the office and takes.
Well, he's seemingly there
15,
at the
20
Weedsport
minutes, a
office,
half
like,
hour.
all hours
Yeah,
of
well-
the day and night.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and he picks up and he usually gets it done off of like 2 rings, which is amazing. But to take the time to come sit with, the 4 of us clowns minus Mallet. I mean,
Hey,
that says
who are you calling a clown?
you. That says a lot about Jeff himself. Taking on this whole thing and doing it as well as he's doing it, to take almost a half hour now to sit here and just BS with us.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what goes into running an event like that. I mean, I stress out enough trying to DJ a wedding. I can't imagine trying to put a whole week of racing on. And like he said, and I didn't really think about it this way, but obviously they're at 3 different facilities.
Yeah.
I mean, good night. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
3 different facilities, and it's now Tuesday night,
Yeah.
Wednesday night,
Yeah.
It's
I
now
know
a
they
night long.
added a whole race.
Friday
to-
night, Saturday night, Sunday, plus all of the events at the mile.
Yeah.
That is
I-
that's some racing. You got that pole position in there, John?
The pole position raceway T-shirt they gave me the other day.
I know.
Nice. Thank
Maybe
you.
somebody likes my boobies.
Wow. Enough.
Chris.
And the live viewership just went down.
Chris, put a knife
Actually,
in
I
that.
I had a report that it dropped. I really don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
everything
pay no-
looks good.
pay
Everything
no
looks good
attention.
here. I don't know.
That's good stuff, man.
You know who you want to pay attention to?
D'Amico?
D'Amico
D'Amico
Chrysler
Dodge.
Buy a
Yes,
Mopar.
sir.
Mopar.
Go buy a Mopar. Staple in the Finger Lakes since 1963, D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep offers full service parts and sales from their headquarters on routes 5 and 20 on the west side of Geneva. Lineup includes the beautiful 2014 Chrysler Town & Country minivan and the Chrysler 200S, the new sport model, and that thing is a hot rod. It's got the 3.6 liter V6 Pentastar engine in it with 283 horsepower, and it is awesome.
Did you say hot rod and V6 in the same sentence?
It's awesome, dude. You got to drive one. It's fast.
I love my
Bad
Mopars,
fast.
but hot rod and V6 do not belong together.
You can get a V6 engine in a Charger now.
I wouldn't.
You better get a Challenger by Ken too, big guy,
I'd love to have a Challenger
because those
with a
Hemi.
Hemi.
I had a rather candid conversation with Josh Irwin over at Finger Lakes today when I was scoping out those cars. There are some really, really cool things going on in the background for Dodge and their Challenger right now. Wait till you see what happens. I think it's like 2 or 3 years off. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna go over huge. Huge.
Did you see the Barracuda?
I haven't seen the pictures of it yet.
I have.
Yeah.
Online, yeah.
Is it nice? Pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Still like the Challenger. Challenger's always been my favorite car, though.
Well, you can get
Even
a
as a
Challenger.
kid.
You can get a Challenger Charger or the new Barracuda when they do come out over at D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep. They had a record summer, and they're looking for trade-ins. They're going to hold nothing back and giving the most that they can for to get you into one of their new cars, vans, SUVs, or trucks. Make sure you get over there. Say hi to Mike Godkin, my favorite sales rep, and Mike D'Amico. The rest of the D'Amico family's there, too. They're online at D'AmicoChryslerDodgeJeep.com. You can visit them in person at the dealership. Open daily Monday to Saturday at 8:30. For more information, call D'Amico's at 877-407-7207. And our official Fan Connection sponsor with a new live drop.
The man with the rhythm, and he loves his booze. At
Who's
least
that?
those MLs.
Who's
anyway. Those MLs.
Who's the
John
man?
Bomas, that is.
Yeah.
Mr. 7th Place.
Ice Cold ML.
Tuesday nights, you can see Creekside Entertainment out at F&A's Rhythm and Booze right here in Waterloo. Well, we're in Seneca Falls. It's in Waterloo.
7th out of
Pretty close.
33, I'll tell you.
We're out there at F&A's Rhythm and Booze
If
from
you're not
8
first,
p.m. to
you're
12
last.
a.m. every Tuesday with the most up-to-date karaoke in the Finger Lakes. You can also see us out at the Palmyra American Legion Fridays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. At the Poorhouse in Dundee Fridays from 9 to 1. And the Penyon VFW Saturday nights from 8 to 12 with their country karaoke. Don't forget about the official photo booth of the two-time defending NLL champion Rochester Nighthawks. The Creekside photo booth is what you need to make your party, wedding, or event a great event, and I highly recommend that you book early because we have already booked several in 2014, and we all have 3 now for 2015.
Good God, man.
Had to send Stu out to buy a 2015
Are you going to be
calendar.
DJing at Super Dirt Week? In the infield?
I try not to DJ at Super Dirt Week.
You should DJ in the
Why?
infield.
I mean, seriously.
I did 2 years ago. Dad and I kind of split duties there.
You did?
Yeah, we were inside. We were inside the bar. I think we
Oh,
did it.
You don't want to go in. You don't
Yeah.
want to go in there.
Yeah.
You got to do it outside where the rest of us.
That's
But-
not safe.
You know, it's one of those things where it would be fun to do, but
You
we
can
go to
get
Dirt
shot
Week
at.
to enjoy the week, and you just if you DJ,
Yeah, but
there,
it's
you
fun
feel
for
like
the rest
you're-
of us.
You feel like you're working. No, I don't want to work. That's my vacation, man.
Send Stu.
So, anyway, speaking of Stu, you can contact Stu at
Did you get to
315.
DJ for the camel?
That's how he got
No,
on
he
there.
just had to ride it.
Call Stu at 315-481-9700, online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and on Twitter at creeksidentdj.
I only have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
Was it one hump or two?
One.
Just one hump?
I was confused by
How
that.
the hell did you manage that?
Well, the fun, and if you got...
Now who's picking on him?
Okay. I don't get it. But
This is
that's
fat
all
on
good.
fat crime. What's that all about?
I'm not making a fat joke. There's one damn hump on the camel. Where the hell are you sitting?
On top of the hump.
They have this. They have this. I don't even know what it's called. Is
it a saddle?
Just a little.
It's like a saddle.
Like top of the
It's
hump.
like a saddle, but it's got a bar on the back, so you sit between the hump and the back bar. But the way you sit
Now I
on it
get
makes
it.
you feel like you're gonna fall off the back of it. And with my fat ass up there,
Trust me,
It was not
I'm with
good.
you. I'm with you. I
Just wrap your arms
understand.
around the hump.
I understand. Trust me.
so
You want to come hug you?
Oh, that is so funny.
It's terrible.
Hump
This is-
day.
Whoop whoop. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, man,
God.
that is funny.
Somebody put a bullet in this thing.
What else we got? Anything?
the Chronicles of Oven Mitt.
Well, we had a bunch of racing over the weekend.
Oh right, I forgot.
Oh, racing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you racing on this
We
show?
haven't talked anything about racing at all.
We talked about Fonda. We got Fonda in there.
I got the
Oh,
Fonda.
We talked about
What?
Fonda.
Yeah,
Yes.
you want to see a look on
This-
somebody's
This
face. You got
clown
to see this
actually
meathead.
showed up on Sunday. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it.
You ought to see this meathead. He's standing there with a ice cold Miller Lite. in his
You walk
hand.
out, you go, you lost, boy.
I look at him. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
This ain't
Go do
Ontario
something.
County. This is Montgomery County. What are you doing here?
I told you I get outside Ontario County.
Yeah, he was
He
there.
looked so confused. He looked absolutely
He-
lost. He wondered if he was still at Fonda. Or
He was in
maybe
attendance
he got,
on Sunday.
Maybe he got dropped off at.
I was
Canada
baffled.
or-
I can't believe it. Yeah, John looked around. He goes,
Where am I?
He did look puzzled, but I'm not
When
sure.
did Canandaigua put in covered grandstands?
I'm not sure if it's because he was drunk or just confused.
I
that
wasn't drunk.
Rich goes, where's Mike? And John looks at him and goes, can't get there from here. It's back the way you came.
No, I wondered if Mallet was there, and then all of a sudden I heard that sweet voice.
It didn't take long to hear him, did
That
it?
No.
sweet, sexy,
That's
velvety
sweet.
voice.
That's the only
right?
thing I went for.
And then you
to
heard
hear
Mike
him.
interrupt him.
Yeah, pretty much. No, that's the only thing I went for. I heard Mallet was going to be announcing, so I had to get on and hear that.
Wow, you're such a groupie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
So it's a bald guy thing.
it
It's
was
actually
a,
a bald fat guy thing.
it was a fun weekend. Saturday's racing kind of sucked because
The
typical daytime
show,
race, but
the show Sunday was good.
Sunday was good. Sunday was much better. The track was much wetter. Of course, it was a lot cooler and it was overcast all day, so it wasn't as warm and sunny.
And they got some rain over
And they got rain overnight, and the track was much better, so I had some bite. It was rough on Sunday.
Saturday
into
we
one-
were on our way back
going
from
into one. It was rough.
on our way back from Brockton, in Massachusetts, and we came through. Probably would have been just about the time Saturday, where you wouldn't have really been able to carry on much of a conversation. But we drove through Fort Plain.
Was
we
it
saw the
noon?
rocks. Yeah.
I would have been able to carry on a conversation. Trust me.
He did good
I
at
don't
4:30.
get all.
He just wouldn't remember it the next
I don't
day.
get all freaking smashed and falling down drunk and shit like that.
No, I got to tell you, I was really, really pleased with the way they ran that show off. It was rough in turn one. They had a huge
Sunday's track
drop.
was rough, but there was at least some bite. I was happy that there was some
But they
bite in
fixed
there.
it. They fixed that. I mean, they had
Yeah.
a deep. Chris, they had a deep hole in one.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah,
big.
some of those
long-
guys, if they hit it just right, it'd throw the
It-
front end right back
it-
towards the outside
Yeah,
wall.
I mean, it was nasty, and they completed the heats, and they went out there with a grader, and they did legit track prep and fixed it,
The racing was at least
and they made that
competitive,
racing
and
good.
it was racing on Sunday.
and they ran that
Saturday
show off
stunk.
quick.
They ran that show off real quick.
Yeah, they ran. I mean, they ran things right along. Show started at 4 hours at home at 10 o'clock.
Wow, it's
they
not
were-
bad at all.
They were done by dusk.
That's a 2.5 hour ride.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because you made it last 2.5 hours.
no, well, no, we drove the speed limit the entire way.
Did you go to the throughway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
I
I
threw it
took
down.
5 all the way there.
my buddy Troy from Arizona drove, so it took, instead of 2.5 hours, about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did somebody sponsor your tolls or
No.
no? Oh well.
Well, Troy, yeah,
Troy did.
yeah, he sponsored lunch too.
Nice. Nice.
It was nice. I paid to get in. Took a free ride.
Oh, you flashed your 31st lap badge and they go.
You got a
thought it said
badge?
13. What?
Wait a minute. You got a badge?
Yeah, we made it out of the stickers.
Yeah, we taped it to an index card.
Yeah.
This is our credential. We
this work?
laminated.
Does this
I gotta
work
get
here?
me one of those.
We laminated it with packing tape.
You know, but
curls to it.
I did neglect to remember that they had a no reentry policy.
Yeah, so he told me this story on Sunday because he didn't know there was a no reentry policy.
And I felt
So he
like
told
such
the
a
guy at
dick.
the gate. He just flat out told him, "I'm going out
I'm
the gate,
going out
and
and
you're
I'm coming
gonna
back
let
in."
me back."
Look, I work security at
I'm like, well,
Canandaigua.
typically
And the
that's
guy
not
goes,
how
"Where?"
it works. Don't you know who I am?
And, you know, I felt kind of like a dick, but then I was cold, so I really didn't care. I was going out and
Yeah,
coming
and the
back
guy
in.
that you said it to, that guy at that gate, because you went in the gate along the back or along the front stretch,
Right.
not the gate out and turn one out by the road. That guy that you said that to was actually a very, very nice guy.
We talked. We were cool. We were cool when it was all over. I thanked him for letting me go out.
Did you give him the
And-
keys to say, okay, if you're not going to let me back in, here's my keys.
You go get it. I'll
Go
watch
get my
the
shirt.
gate.
I'll watch the gate.
No,
I'm
no.
experienced at this.
I did bring him in a beverage, non-alcoholic beverage. We took care of him. He let me go out, grab my hoodie.
He's
so-
he's a good. He's
Yeah,
a
he
good
was-
dude.
he was really-
He
he's
doesn't
like
ever
this,
bother
and-
nobody. He just sits in his chair,
Yep. He's like,
takes a
listen,
ticket.
we have a no reentry policy. I'm like, dude, I got to get a jacket. Like, I'm freezing to death. He's like,
He goes, you don't look cold.
no, he just kind of, turned, no, he turned around and addressed somebody else.
You know what he really said to him was, "What, you mean you're not wearing 4 jackets already?"
Maybe this might be a dual ass beating. And I don't care if you leave the camera on. Post that thing up on YouTube. So many hits we get for that.
So yeah, Friday they had the ROC race, King of the Catskills at Accord. Jackie Brown Jr. beat Danny Johnson in that show too.
Nobody picked him.
Who did we did picks last week? Did we do all 3 days? What did we do?
You guys did
We
3
had
shows.
Accords.
Yeah, we had
And then
King of
sprints
the
and Sunday,
Catskills, ESS, and then the Fonda 100.
What were our picks?
Mike had Higbee for King of the Catskills. You had Strunk. I had Mahaney. So we all struck out there.
I picked
Strunk
Friesen.
didn't finish.
ESS, Mike had Poirier, you had Barger, and I had Stewie. And then for the 100, Mike had DiLorenzo, you had Wilder, and I had Mahaney again.
And I had Stewie.
On the write-in ballot.
Right after the checker.
So this weekend we have tomorrow is the makeup, the finish of the Soul 60.
Yep.
From Glenridge, and then they added a complete show to that too.
If you're going to open the gates, you might better make it worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Saturday they got the $5,000 to win 60 lap show at Afton or I-88, whatever you want to call it.
I-88, because that's its name.
I think that's what they call it now.
I'll stick with Afton. Okay. And then Sunday is the Brawl in the Fall makeup from last fall at Hagerstown.
You want to go? Are you going?
I'll
drive.
Mallet's going.
I'll drive.
We've already got our passes from last year.
Yeah, I'm not really driving. Don't get excited.
He's bugging me to go, but I don't know. Because he's going to Sealand's Grill on Saturday, too, and I don't really want to. I don't know.
We're going to Brookfield.
He's bugging me. I think I'm going
on
tomorrow
Saturday.
to Glenridge, though, at least. I haven't decided on Saturday and Sunday yet.
You guys were talking about Stewie. Doug Emery been burning the midnight oil this week to
Getting
get a
ready
motor
to run
put back
Sealand's
together,
Grill.
and
It's about-
they did get one
You
back
need to get
together.
out here. It's about 10 to 9.
So Stewie will be down there at Sealands Grove.
Okay.
If we're done, I'm out.
Okay.
I'm not leaving until you give the sign off.
Okay.
I just want to
Yeah,
give a
Stewie,
quick shout out for the Bull Ring Challenge down at Woodhall this weekend.
Yes.
2-day show down there. Big
Yeah, the
block,
Lyle-
small block
I'll take
challenge.
Steve Payne. Thank you.
Oh, you can't. Actually, that phone going off was Brian Sipple picking Steve Payne.
Tell Brian
The,
Sipple. Oh, by the way, Brian Sipple wants to. He talks about field fillers, and we're jumping back a little while when you were talking about J.J. Yaley. He's busting your balls about field fillers being a J.J. Yaley fan.
Okay.
I think he's trying to say J.J.'s a pretty big field filler.
Okay. What's your
Just
point?
I'm just passing the information.
So should he
along
go
to
race
Brian.
at Canandaigua?
Apparently.
Fit right in then, right?
Apparently. Who won Saturday at Fonda?
How do you do on Sunday?
Who won? Oh, one of our field fillers. Sorry.
One of the field fillers.
Sorry. One of our field fillers beat your field, so sorry. Carry on.
Who's not been doing too bad recently.
Yeah.
Took it at Mohawk. Took it Saturday.
He wanted
at
2
Fonda.
new tracks this week.
Yeah.
Matt Shepard did.
Yep, and I didn't pick him in your league.
He won
so I
on
don't
Saturday
But
for the first time ever at Fonda, and then he won on Tuesday at Pole Position Raceway.
but last night his
New tracks.
his kickball team could not beat my kickball team.
care. Really?
We tied.
You were kicking
He
balls.
didn't want to hurt his right foot.
So you didn't beat his either.
So let me get this
I think he
straight.
pulled a quad last night. he was looking rough.
You were kicking balls?
At the end of the night, I think it's fair to say that I could have outran him running the bases. That's saying a lot.
It is, actually.
No, we had fun with him and the Guerreri crew last night.
Oh, those guys
over there
are
at
a
kickball.
riot.
That they drive all the way to Penn Yan from around here, Seneca Falls, Waterloo, to go play
They
kickball.
drive all over.
That's a good time.
Tell them
That's
there's,
a good time.
there's going to be a sportsman race.
Is your team
Guarantee
the
they
Yates
show up.
County Dromedaries?
No, we're the Blue Barracudas.
Blue Barracudas?
Yeah. No, last night
John, dromedary is a
I
type
went
of
over and
camel.
talked to Frankie and all this crew over there, and said the loser has to buy a case of beer for Dirt Week. And
A case of beer, that's a drop in a bucket.
it's something, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a start.
Hell.
Especially if you win and your cooler's
What kind of
empty.
beer?
We were down 2 runs in the
Miller
last
Lite,
inning,
John,
and
let
I
it
said
go.
to my teammates, I said, this cannot happen.
I am not buying a
I
case
am
of
not
beer.
buying a case of beer at Dirt Week.
Listen, if you want to have a good time, that Guerreri clan at Dirt Week is always up for
I
one.
camped with them one year.
They are always up for a good time.
Yeah.
Always, they'll invite anybody in.
Yep.
Hopefully
It
we'll all
took
be
me
there.
in when I was like 14. I was camped by myself. They said, come on over here, son.
That was what, 73, 4? What was that?
Stop it. I was born in 86. You jackass.
You're just a puppy.
That's right.
Oh,
right.
man.
I think that's enough.
Chris, kill
Before
this
you
thing.
sign off, I want to throw another plug out there for the Dave Wano benefit that we talked about last week.
Any distant cousins that on birthdays, anybody?
No,
Anybody?
No, I'm
November-
out of birthdays, man. I
No.
ran them all out
Yeah.
for summer.
No doubt.
November 17th at Checkers Out Speedway in Johnstown, the Dave Wano benefit, the gentleman that was hit by the wheel/tire at Fonda Speedway back in August, I guess it was, or whenever it was.
We'll have to make sure we hit that a couple more times so we get closer, too.
Yes. I was asked because the missus is very close to his daughter, and she asked me if I would
Well, that's...
throw a plug out there as much as I could. So
Yeah.
just doing a favor.
It's
If
honorable.
we can get, if we've got a
Yeah.
if we got a website or anything on
They
that, or
do
can
have
we
a
get
Facebook
one?
page where
and,
they have
and we'll get it up and
an invite.
we'll share that stuff around too.
I'll try to see
Yeah,
if I
that's
can
worth-
share the invite page on
Yeah,
Facebook.
that's your assignment for next
you.
Thursday if you can pull that off.
Great. Gave him homework. He's screwed.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Just remind me.
yeah,
You know, that means that's your job.
yeah. Remind me Wednesday before we get to the show to find out what the website is. We'll get that together for him.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. Well, we appreciate you joining us on this edition of the 31st lap. I gotta find the outro. There it is.
No picks.
Picks. What do you want to pick? You want to pick Aqua?
We can
that
do
was
Afton.
what you did.
Pick Glenridge.
Pick Glenridge.
Sure.
Which show though? One of them's already going.
They're all
Pat
going to
Ward's
be the
leading.
same
I'll
cars.
take Pat Ward. Why don't you just do Afton? 60
I
laps.
don't like Afton.
Okay.
I want to do Glenridge. Why can't
Okay.
I do Glenridge?
Go ahead.
Do
Which
'em both.
race though? You're going to do one or two? There's two races.
Do the full show. Not
the
the
new
not
show.
the continuation. We'll do the new show.
Okay.
I'm assuming Varen's going to run down there.
Yes, that's his
Bobby.
weekly track.
I
Yep.
will take him.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Only because he's on the board,
Oven
Mike Mahaney.
Oven mitt. Mahaney.
I'll take
Got
Stewie
it.
because Stewie said he's going.
Oh, you guys
He was not there for the original show, but he'll be running the second
You
one.
guys are jerks.
Hey, if he's on the board, you got to take him.
Chris, who do you want?
I don't know.
You want Varen? I'll give him to you.
No.
You already took him.
I'll give it. I can trade my pick to anybody I want.
Trade him.
I would trade it to Chris, but he's wearing that damn Boston hat, so
I know it.
screw him.
Oh, man.
Postseason's looking good.
Yeah,
Yeah, better than the Yankees.
so is mine. Lots of golf.
Is Danny going to that?
Don't
That,
know.
know.
that classic
I-
orange
You
car?
know, you
I would,
never.
I would doubt it. I'd be surprised if he showed up at Glenridge, but
Yeah, you never know what he's going to
possibly
do.
maybe he'll be at Afton. No, who knows? I mean, that's $5,000 to win Saturday, so
He usually chases the money.
depends on what the 66 team is doing, though. You know,
That's true.
I don't know what
Hopefully
their plans
something
are.
better than they did at Fonda on Sunday.
Now, that
Yeah.
66 car, is that going to be, is that a Dirt Week ride?
I haven't
I
heard one way or the other. I'm assuming. but haven't
I
heard.
believe it is, but
I don't know what he's got for small block either. If he's got a ride for the small block race or not.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We both know we can find
I wish
out.
I wish I could find out because Bob Thomas, why don't you tell me what's going on with small block Syracuse for the doc, because I need him. I need the points. My fantasy team's
It's not nothing to do with we want to see him in the field. I need my fantasy
All
points.
I know is Brett Hearn is in both of the big block and small block, and so is Mario Claire. Thank God.
Oh.
Yeah, so is A-Bear.
Is Wilder going to be down there at Glen Ridge?
Jeremy, I think so because he was there. He should be because he
Yeah,
was there.
I'll take Wilder.
The Rained Out show, he was there.
Yeah, I'll take Wilder.
It's not a bad pick. He's won there a couple times.
Yeah,
in the modified. So,
but I don't know how much of a season he's going to do beyond the regular season, if he's going to keep running the postseason or not.
I think that's going to be pretty much it.
Yeah, he came up.
Fonda was supposed to be it, but then with this show getting rained out and delayed, I think that's probably going to be it then.
He came up for
'Cause
some of
he's
the
not going to
satellite
Super Dirt
stuff.
Week. He's not going to Super Dirt Week to race.
No, but he
they're
did a
just
lot
going
of
to
the
watch.
satellite stuff. For the nights.
Yeah, but I was told that Fonda was it.
There you go. Straight from the camel's mouth. That's going to do it for this episode of the 31st Lap. We appreciate you being part of it, and we're going to see you right back here again next week.
Shalom.